Ravi sat alone on a crowded train, staring at the window as rain poured outside. His headphones were on, but he wasn't listening. In his hand, he held his resignation letter. He had just quit his job, not because he wanted to, but because he couldn't take it anymore. Deadlines, pressure, expectations. He whispered, "I can't do this. I feel like I'm carrying the whole world on my shoulders." A stranger sitting nearby, an old woman with silver hair and calm eyes, heard him and smiled. She said softly, "Maybe the problem isn't the world, son. Maybe it's the weight you choose to carry." Ravi looked at her confused. She handed him a small card and said, "Come to this address tomorrow morning, I'll show you something." The next morning, curiosity dragged Ravi to the small village at the edge of the city. The old woman lived in a quiet wooden house surrounded by fields. She greeted him warmly and said, "Follow me." Behind her house was a large, empty ground. In the middle, there was a table with a basket full of stones, small, medium, and large. She said, "Each of these stones represents your worries, fears, and regrets. Now pick them up one by one." Ravi hesitated but did as she said. One stone for his lost relationship, one for his failed promotion, one for his parents' expectations, one for his fear of the future. By the time he finished, his arms were heavy. The old woman said, "Now walk around the field and come back. The sun was harsh." The stones grew heavier. Halfway around the field, Ravi's arms began to ache. He wanted to drop them, but he didn't. When he finally returned, his body was trembling. He dropped the basket and sat down exhausted. He said angrily, "This is pointless. It's too heavy." The woman smiled and said, "Exactly. That's what you do with your mind every single day." Ravi looked up, stunned. She continued, "You carry the stones of yesterday, the stones of tomorrow, but forget to live in today." Ravi stared at the stones. Each one felt like a piece of his life, his guilt, his stress, his fears. The old woman asked him to pick them again, but this time only the ones that truly mattered. He paused. He left behind the stone of regret. He left the stone of others' opinions. He picked only one, the stone of gratitude. The basket suddenly felt light. He looked at her and said, I can breathe." The old woman smiled gently. "Peace doesn't come when life gets easier. It comes when you stop carrying unnecessary weight." Before leaving, she took him to a nearby river. She told him to throw one stone into the water. He did. The stone sank immediately. She said, "That's what happens to your worries when you let them go. They sink. But if you hold on, they drown you instead." For the first time in years, Ravi felt a strange stillness inside. No rush, no noise, just quiet peace. He turned to the old woman and asked, "How did you learn all this?" She looked at the horizon and whispered, "I used to carry my own stones too, until one day I lost someone I loved. That's when I realized we never really live until we stop holding what's already gone." Ravi left the village that evening. He walked through the city again, the same traffic, same noise, same people, but everything felt different. He noticed the smell of rain, the sound of laughter, the warmth of sunlight on his face. He smiled for no reason. That night, he sat down and wrote in his journal, "I don't want to control everything anymore. I just want to feel alive again." He tore his resignation letter and decided to restart, not for success, but for peace. Days turned into weeks, and people around him noticed the change. He was calmer, kinder, happier. He even started a small online journal, helping others to drop their stones. Thousands began following his posts. Months later, Ravi received a letter from the old woman's village. It said she had passed away peacefully, but inside the envelope was one small stone and a note. "This one is to remind you, don't carry what you can let go." Ravi kept the stone on his desk forever, not as a burden, but as a reminder of lightness. We all carry stones of guilt, of fear, of what-ifs, but life isn't about holding them tighter. It's about learning when to put them down. Let go, forgive, move forward. Because peace isn't found in the future, it's found in the present moment. If this story touched your heart, comment, "I'm letting go." Subscribe for more stories that change how you see life. Because sometimes one story can heal 1,000 minds.